Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Ryan Clifton Bolin. Well, the Frankfurt School Marxist teachers are at it again. I just read an article from the Breitbart News, once again pushing the idea of cultural Marxism on our young people in the school systems. And these are very young people. These cultural Marxists are trying their best to corrupt our children. They're really pushing this. And it must be because more and more people are becoming aware. What they fail to realize, before I get any further into this, is that if they keep pushing, we're going to keep pushing. If they keep trying to corrupt, we're going to keep exposing their corruption. So by the grace of God and by the power of God, we're going to win. The devil is a lie. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to read a small portion of this article because it's a very long article. So I'm just going to read a really small portion because I want to get right into what I want to get into and give my view on this whole situation. So we're going to begin this article right now, Breitbart News, and it is entitled Exclusive Footage, Private School Teachers Nationwide Implementing Race Essentialist Curriculum Trained by, get this now, Black Panther. Through teacher training lectures with titles like Cultivating Anti-Racist and Activists in Kindergarten, Decolonizing the Minds of Second Graders, and The White People Way, the nation's leading accreditation association for private schools is instructing educators to adopt a race essentialist and cultural Marxist curriculum for children as young as 5 years old. They starting real young. Got to get the young people's minds. The National Association of Independent Schools, NAIS, hosts professional development conferences for teachers at schools in their network, which promotes a race-based curriculum and grading system, including tips on how to avoid transparency. Listen to this. Including tips on how to avoid transparency with parents, according to a trove of footage reviewed by Breitbart News. The principal professional development conference hosted by NAIS for Teachers for People of Color conference was started by educational diversity equity consultant and former NAIS director of diversity Randolph Carter, who was a self-described Black Panther. I'm going to stop right there because I want to get right into this, but you can find a link to that article in the description below. You can read that on your own. We have to push back, folks. We have to push back. Our children are in danger. And I hate to sound cynical. I hate to sound negative. But the fact of the matter is our children is in danger. This is not a conspiracy theory. This thing is real. These people, these cultural Marxist professors, and these communist loving teachers and politicians are really trying to push a anti-American, anti-white, anti-God, anti-Christian, anti-right and wrong ideology on our children. They're starting them young, 5 years old. And notice what the article states. It says teaching tips on how to avoid transparency with parents. In other words, don't tell your parents. Be like Biden. Oh, don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents. You know, when he was whispering like he crazy, you know, oh, God, what was that about? But be like Biden. Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your tips on how to avoid transparency. In other words, don't tell your parents, little one. Don't tell your parents what we're teaching you. Think about that. How is it a conspiracy theory and this is not real? How is that so? They're telling you, this curriculum basically is saying we're going to give tips on how not to be transparent to your parents. In other words, don't share this with your parents. Now, clearly something corruptive is going on if the curriculum teaches the teachers how to give tips to the children on how not to be transparent to their parents. Clearly something corruptive is going on here. Marxism, communism, and socialism and progressivism are corruptive. They are not good. I don't care what people say. History shows that millions of people have died under those regimes. It is time for America to wake up and smell the coffee. They're after your children. They're after my child. But to God be the glory. I'm thankful that my son is someone who I've been praying for him all the time. And I'm saying, God, but I ask him questions all the time. Son, what are they teaching you? Son, you need to tell me, because I'll find out. I'll find out one way or another what they're teaching you. Because I can tell when someone is hiding something from me. You can't hide nothing from me. If a teacher telling your child not to tell your parents this, that, or the other, then parents, we need to be like, wait a minute, I'm getting involved. As parents, we have the right to know what the teachers are teaching our kids. What kind of satanic, demonic foolishness is that? This is getting way out of hand. And it's time for parents, and I know I sound like I'm preaching, but it's time for parents all over this country to wake up and start exposing this evil. Marxism is evil. It is not good. Critical race theory, which is what these people are trying to teach, is not good. And by the way, the Black Panthers, and I know this is going to be divisive, but I don't care. It's the truth is a light. If you study history, the Black Panthers was associated with communism. They was infiltrated by communist movement, communist infiltrators in the early history of this country, in the early 1900s. They were infiltrated by them. Every member of the Black Panther, the old Black Panthers, every member had to have a copy of Chairman Mao's red book on how to incite a revolution. And I've seen pictures of Black Panther members holding up the red book, Chairman Mao's red book. The Black Panthers were a violent, revolutionary, communist-oriented, communist-trained, Marxist-trained organization. Forget about all this stuff that they show you where they was feeding hungry people and all that, and hungry people in the community. That was just a cover-up to show what their real ideology is, which is how communists operate. They cover up their true design, people. They cover up what because they're evil. So they cover themselves up. The devil is not going to tell you he the devil. He's going to come with a suit, 3-piece suit, and a briefcase. That's how he's going to come, with his hair slicked back. He's not going to come saying, I'm the devil and I'm coming here to destroy you. He's not going to do that. Communism, Marxism, progressivism, socialism is not going to come to you with a pitchfork and horns. They're not going to come to our children with a pitchfork and horn saying, I want to destroy and corrupt your children to prepare them for the communist government that we have coming in the future. It's not going to say that. What they're going to do is come and say, well, you know what, these kids need to be educated and trained on racism in America. Really? Let me say this. There's a difference between history and programming your children to become social justice warriors. If you read further in that article, and I don't want to give away too much of it, but you can read the rest of it for yourself. It talks about, one of the teachers talks about teaching our children to be social justice warriors. Your job is to teach these children the curriculum, the stuff they're supposed to be learning. Math, history, science. But you got teachers in the school that are striving to teach your children how to be social justice warriors. Is that what you want? I certainly don't. I certainly don't. And now listen and see. And so we got to understand, man, what's really going on here. We have to understand that there is a dark agenda being pushed towards our children. And these people really want to control our children for the worse. Now, going back to the difference between history and brainwashing and mind control and indoctrinating your children with this nonsense. History is you share with the young people, yes, slavery was a part of American history. And yes, there was racism in America. It was a part of American history. You share that with them as a history teacher. It should be taught in history class that those were a part of American history. But you don't spend all your time trying to explain lies to the kids by saying America is founded on racism. America is all about racism. You are a oppressed black man. You are a oppressed black woman. You will never be able to come out of your situation unless we help you. And white people, you guys are racist at the core. You were born racist. It's in your DNA. This is what these teachers are teaching our young people. This is what it is. Not a conspiracy theory. This thing is real. And we need to wake up in this country. And I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about that. We need to, I'm not talking about going out here getting signs and stuff like that and protesting. I don't have the time for it, nor the strength, nor the patience. Plus I work. I don't have time for it. But if that's what you have time to do, do it. You know? But one way or another, expose what these people are doing. Ask your child questions. I ask my son questions because this is what they're trying to do in our schools. But it's high time that American parents and America needs to wake up and push back. We need to push back against this evil agenda that's being pushed on our young people. But that's all I wanted to say about that. What do you guys have to say about that? What do you think about that? This whole idea of critical race theory? Do you believe it's a conspiracy theory, or do you believe it's really going on in our schools? What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share the video, and subscribe. God bless you all and see you again.